Hello, this is John.
Hey, John. My name's Michael. I'm a local investor in the area. I'm also a realtor, but I just saw the listing you have over on Riverwalk Drive. Is that one that's still available, right? I looked it up on Zillow, so
It is, yes.
okay. Just making sure you know how Zillow is. But
Nope, it is.
what's
Right.
going on with the property here? I see that you listed it quite some time ago. It looks like over 239 days is showing.
So it's massive. It's probably the biggest lot, the biggest house in the neighborhood, and so it's
Mm-hmm.
more expensive than the others.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great. It's great that like the master bedroom is basically like a whole upstairs. It's huge. I think it was just the price. The problem is I can't go. I mean, I've dropped it a lot. Obviously, you can see, but
Mm-hmm.
they're right about where they have equity. They got a first and second.
Yeah.
I, we just need an offer. If we can get in, if it's a short sale, it's a short sale, but they're motivated to sell. It's been in foreclosure. I'm also an
Yeah.
attorney. I represent them in that.
Oh, you're the attorney for it as well. Okay. Yeah, I see the loan to value on it's about 76% on it as well. Yeah, and I see the two loans. So they have looks like two, or no, I see one loan here. They
Yeah,
got
there's
one
a second.
2021, and then they have the other ones on 2022. So they took two back to back.
Yep, the equity was blowing up. They took advantage of it, and now they're stuck. But we, so one issue with this property, one of the
Hmm.
reasons it's been on the market so long, is they work days. Well, no, they work nights and sleep days. So can't.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
wants to. They need at least 48 hours, and they 90% of the time are not going to be able to do it if it's not a Saturday or a Sunday. So
Hmm.
limiting viewing ability has really hurt
Oh,
their
yeah.
sale.
No, I understand. I had a property in West Palm Beach, and same situation, pre-foreclosure. Guy was behind like $100,000, and he had a renter in the property, and they wouldn't let people in the house. So it was the same thing. And they were always going on vacation because the guy was a retired broker. He's super rich.
Yeah, they've been their own worst enemies. They haven't been available to show it.
Yeah, I got it. And I mean, I'm looking at this. It's probably not going to work for me because I don't know. Are you familiar with creative finance or?
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work.
Well, where I'm getting at is, I mean, just as an example, I just helped somebody out with negative equity to move back to Texas. I found them a buyer to come in and take it over sub two. I sometimes buy properties. Just looking at this, it wouldn't be a deal for me. I like to be honest with people. I'm not these. I don't beat around the bush, but I could possibly find a retail buyer to take it over sub two, where they can just catch up their arrears and make the payments. But it just depends here. I mean, do you know what their total payments are between both loans?
I think they've been delinquent for a couple of years, so the reinstatement amount's pretty high. But
Hmm.
I could get that number for you. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah. Because the only thing I could think of to try to help these people is, and I'm only talking to you like this because you're a realtor and an attorney. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. But in order to help them out, I would have to try to find a buyer, maybe to buy it like on a mirror wrap, just take it over like that, or on a sub two or something. So if you can get me that info, I can see if I can help. Just based on what I see, it's probably not going to be something I can do, but I can at least try to help out, especially
Yeah,
with your limitations that you have.
you just need the payoff on the first and second.
Yeah, so it'd be the payoff amount plus the PITI together. And he doesn't have any other like liens on it, like tax liens, HOA.
Oh,
It
I don't
doesn't
know
look like
about
he has
HOA.
solar.
I don't think no other liens, but I don't know if they're current with the HOA. I think they are. Maybe not.
Okay, they're current.
I do not know.
Okay. Yeah, if you can find that out for me, what I'll do is I'll send you my information. Just send me that over, and I can run the numbers and just see if I can possibly try to help them out. So,
Okay, if you wouldn't mind
um,
sending me a text with your name and firm, I appreciate it, and then
okay,
I'll send it back.
perfect. And I'm
Thank you.
calling you from my CRM. I'm going to send you my actual phone number instead, so that way
Okay,
you'll
no
have a
problem.
direct line to me. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care. Okay. So what I did there, I don't know if you noticed what I did. I kind of broke some rules, but I just felt like it was something where it made a little bit more sense. Now, the guy's a realtor. He's also an attorney. He deals with foreclosures. So he has to know what creative finance is. And I kind of took a little risk there, but if you notice, he was not open to creative finance at all at first. But then when I started talking about their situations and kind of getting a little bit into like how I might be able to help, the reason that I did that is because he is a professional. Lawyers, they're a way higher standard than a realtor is. I mean, a realtor, it doesn't take much to be a realtor, but to be a lawyer, you have to be sharp, right? So the reason why I went into the creative finance route is because I wanted to build some authority and just get them understanding that I know what I'm talking about. Now, the other thing is I didn't put in there at all that, I want to buy this house. I want to put an offer on it. I actually pushed it away. I said, listen, I can tell you just by looking at the numbers here that I see on the screen, it's probably not a deal for me. It probably wouldn't make sense, but I can try to find another buyer. Now, the good thing about that is I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it. I'm looking at the information here and it's showing the estimated payment is $2,093 a month because he's got a $354,000 mortgage, but it's only a 2.8% interest. It's super low. That's awesome because that makes the payments very low. Now, the other thing is the interest rate on the 100,000. That's the one that really kills it. It's almost a 7% interest. But between the two of them, if the payment is 2,000 a month, long term on this, you can bring in, with it being, what is this, a five bedroom, 4.5 bath. Easily you can get long-term rent on that around like $3,500 to $4,500, just depending the area. I think this area specifically gets about $4,000 a month for a house that size. So if it is 2K after expenses and everything else, this might be a great deal. So, but right now the realtor doesn't think that I'm a buyer for it. So I'm basically framing it like I can help them. But then when he sends me the info, I can come in and say, hey, listen, I ran the numbers and it actually works for me. So I'm going to send you an offer and let's see if we can help him out. So right now, what we're waiting on is the information as far as the arrears. So we need to know how much he's behind on his mortgage. We need to know how much that he's behind, say that he's not paid his taxes. Has he not paid the HOA? Because he's got those liens on the property currently. And if they're all behind, you got to pay all of those off or it could go into foreclosure for any of those reasons. So once I get that information and I have the PITI on everything, I can run the numbers for myself and see if this is an actual deal or not. But when you get to a certain point, you're going to realize that using the script, it's important to understand it, to understand the questions. I didn't have to ask any questions. He answered them all for me. They're in foreclosure. They've been in foreclosure for a number of years. They haven't made their payments. He's got a high motivation himself because it's been on the market for 239 days. He wants to get rid of it. So right now, this is a huge headache for them. It's a huge headache for him. And there's tons of motivation there. So if we can make this work, it's a perfect opportunity for a deal. But yeah, that's how you would use the script. Use it as a skeleton. The script is not meant to be a Bible, like I said. You just have to know what questions to ask. I got all the information that script is pulling out without having to ask the questions, right? So, just what I would say is just study the script as much as you possibly can so you understand the questions that need to be asked so you know while you're information gathering what's been missed and what hasn't. I saw from the pictures, it's a brand new property, 2022. It doesn't need work. It don't need a new roof. It doesn't need a new AC or anything like that. And if it does, I would be surprised. But yeah, basically opening lines, build rapport, ideal outcome. We already know they just need to be able to walk away clean from that property. Condition drill down. It's a brand new house. I didn't have to go over that. Financials and price anchor. I didn't have to go over the financials. They're in foreclosure. I just need to know how much does it cost to get him out of it. And then I didn't have to do the menu pitch because he's a realtor. There's no way I'm going to list the property. And as far as creative terms, it really just comes down to, what the terms are on what they owe. But yeah, right now we're in step 2 where I'm going to follow up with him and then go from there. If you guys got value from this video, please like, subscribe, share, and make sure to comment so that way I know how to improve and continue to give value to you guys in the future.